Hey, there we go. We're back. Oh my goodness. I don't know what happened. I just lost everyone all of a sudden. Hopefully not my internet. But who knows? I had to restart my computer too. Something's going on. It was not happy with me. So sorry about that, guys. So we are working on um embossing. So if you missed the first part, go back and watch the first part. We did 3 embossing techniques. This is our last embossing technique. And again, we're just playing with our embossing folders today, which is so much fun, and finding new ways to use them. So this technique, we're actually going to leave a space. As you can see, there's a space between our embossing. Now you can use 2 different embossing folders to create this look, or you can do what I'm doing, and I'm actually using the same embossing folder on the bottom and the top. So the way we do that is we've got to set our embossing folder up. So we're going to cut our paper. And we're going to cut it a little bit bigger than we actually use it, because we're going to line this up to the sides of our embossing folder. So I want to make sure I scoot this all the way over, and I want to leave about 2 inches hanging off the bottom. That's going to give me enough room at the top to put my image, and then I'm going to use some Post-it note here, or you can use some purple tape or blue tape or whatever works for you, to stick that down so it stays nice and flush with the side. We're going to eventually trim that off, so you don't have to worry about that not coming out embossed. All right, we're going to put this on our machine, and the trick is when you put it on your machine, you don't want the paper to hang off the edge. That'll leave a crease in your paper, and you don't want that, so make sure that your paper is all the way snug on your platform, and then we're going to run that through. All right, sorry about the wiggle there. Once we run that through, we're going to pull that out, and we're going to have that nice embossed look just on the bottom there. Now we're going to go ahead and I'm going to get a new Post-it note, because that one's all embossed on. I go through a lot of Post-it notes when I do this, but that's okay. And we're going to take the top part, and this again is where we're going to have to carefully line up the edge, and we're going to leave about 3/4 inch in the middle here. And if you need to, you can use your ruler to measure that out. I eyeball it, and you can see kind of where that image is embossed and where it's not, so you can kind of get that snug on there. You're going to line that up to the edge again. That's how you're going to get it straight. And then we're going to go ahead and stick our Post-it note so it stays on there. And fold that down. This is a good point where you can check too and see that you have about the same amount of room on both sides, that you've given yourself enough room here. And again, when you put this down, you need to make sure that the paper is all the way on the platform. You'll notice that my folder hangs off the edge. That's fine. We don't need that part. So you can use the top part of your folder and kind of hang it off the edge. But you're going to want that bottom part on there all the way so it doesn't leave a crease. Now we'll go ahead and put down our embossing plate, and we're just going to run that through. All done. And this is so cool, because now I've got this perfect seam here where I can go ahead and stamp my sentiment and really have that stand out. Now this is a good place where you can wrap ribbon, you can put your embellishments, but it definitely gives your paper a little more texture and a different look to it that I love. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these away. And I'll stamp this for you. We're going to use Evening Evergreen. Love this color. And we're going to use the Merry Christmas stamp, and this stamp comes from the Leaves of Holly stamp set. And we're just going to ink that up, line it up on our paper, and get that as close to the center there as we can. Now remember, I'm going to trim this. Woohoo! So that looks so good. can see that's right in the center there of where we did not emboss. So basically, it's like a not embossing technique. We're trying not to emboss that area. Let me just wipe my stamp off here. And then I'm going to go ahead and trim that down and adhere that to our card base. All right, I think my computer decided it's mad at me today, so it hasn't come back to life. That's all right, though. I'm going to try and trim about the same amount from each side so I don't accidentally do one side more than the other. Take a little off there. I don't want too much off the top. But again, that kind of trims off any of the extra edges that you didn't like, or maybe that didn't get enough embossing on them. And then actually I'm going to trim a little more off each side because I was just looking at my sample card and I just love the way that this stands out when you put it in the middle. So on my sample card, I used this gorgeous red ribbon. Now this ribbon is actually retired. It is called Real Red Faux Linen Ribbon. And right now it is on sale for $3 in our clearance rack. And that's because we just did a refresh on the clearance rack. So if you love that red, I love that red. Definitely jump on that because that will be gone soon. We're going to go ahead and use the Evening Evergreen Window Pane Check ribbon. It's so pretty. And we're just going to tie that around and create a bow with that. And if you are not a bow person, there are a million ways to do bows. I need a third hand, and so I use our reverse tweezers to help me out. And that gives me a nice hold while I make my bows. And I can usually get a pretty good bow when I've got an extra set of hands to help me. So use your reverse tweezers. They come in our heat embossing kit, which we'll be talking about later for sure, because I can't wait to share with you guys heat embossing. But today is all about our embossing folders. So super cute. Love it, love it. And then we're just going to adhere this. I'm going to pull it down so it's a little more even. Cut the edge here. And then we're going to adhere that to, maybe, to our card base that we've already created with our designer series paper on it. So I'm just going to adhere that with some Stampin' Dimensionals. I found my little ones. Those will work. Usually I like to use my big ones for bigger projects, but these will work great. All right, so I've shown you 3 different folders today. One that is definitely While Supplies Last on sale, that beautiful whimsical woodland embossing folder that's currently on sale for $4, such a steal. So if you're interested in that, make sure you get online and get that. And then I've also shown you the Fern 3D embossing folder, and the last one was our Timber embossing folder, which I love as well. It's so versatile. There we go. Oh, I love this card. That is so cute. Love the dimension that you get when you use the folder on the top and the bottom. It just gives it a totally different look. All right, so this was the top and bottom technique. We made our 2 cards out of that. So, so pretty. We had our craft white, where we use that craft white ink to make this beautiful card. And we had, I'll lay those down here so you can see them all. We used our Versamark embossing. So we embossed and then we gently went over it with Versamark ink to really help that 3D folder stand out. Love it. And lastly, we use the background inking technique where we background inked right on the folder and it's set right into that background. Oh, so pretty. So pretty. Love those cards. So thanks for joining me tonight. Remember to be entered into the drawing. You do need to comment by 6 p.m. on December 3rd, Mountain Standard Time. And the drawing will be for some of our beautiful green and red ribbon. I love that ribbon. And a Christmas card from me. One of these will be in there as well for you to use. And if you share and you comment share, you'll get an extra entry in our drawing. So all you need to do is comment with which folder we used tonight that you like, or if you have another favorite Stampin' Up! Embossing folder, comment with that folder and just let us know. I'll be back tomorrow night with a day 3 of our 12 days of Stampin' Up! Christmas. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow.